Fantasy and Flavors production. Usually I'm on the opposite end of this reel, but you know what? This time I'm asking the questions because I got questions in my head. With me, I have the sports arena, Eric Wilson, the man, the myth, the legend. If I had to compare him to a hip hop artist, I'd have to say the RZA because he's the man behind the scenes making all this happen. You know, things are happening in Philadelphia, and I got to get your scoop because you're trying true Philadelphia. I see you repping right now.
Hey, I bleed green all day. I bleed all green all day, every day. You know this, man. What's up?
I'm not even going to try to dip my toe in the pool. I'm going to dive right in.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts,
Yes,
selected
sir. Yep.
second round.
Mm-hmm.
You don't select backup quarterbacks in the second round. How do you feel about the selection of Jalen Hurts?
You know what, man? When the pick came down, I did one of these. It was a head scratcher. It really was. However, the fact that Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson immediately did a virtual, interview with reporters to basically explain their reasoning behind what they did, I can't argue it. Let's think about it like this for a moment, okay? Carson Wentz has been in the league now 4 years. In that time frame, he has played one full season. Now, granted, yes, his MVP year, he was on course to break records and ultimately take us to the promised land. He got injured. Nick Foles came in. The rest of the story we already know. Philly is about substance over style. Anybody who's a Philadelphia fan right now, with the exception of a few of us, are pissed off because we think along the same lines that you and most others do. Why the hell would we take a backup quarterback in the second round when we just paid Carson Wentz $107 million in guaranteed money over the next 4 years? But for me, I have to look at it as I am an individual who has to believe in my team and trust that management and ownership are making the best decisions, not just for the present, but also for the future.
Okay, I'll accept that. That was a nice slight bob and weave. What you're not going to bob and weave from is how horrible your secondary has been, bro.
Yes.
Your secondary has been, whoa. Black Rob horrible, whoa. Enter Darius Slay and a couple of cats from other different teams. Are we going to see any type of increase in productivity when it comes to the secondary this year?
Before I get to my answer, let me say this publicly to Malcolm Jenkins. Thank you for being a leader on the team. I wish they would have been able to figure out a contract negotiation with you and keep you as the man on the squad. It's a business and I understand it. That being said, I have been so critical of my defense, Alex, over the last couple of years. I can't tell you how much venom I spit on that defense, man. The fact that Jalen Mills, who, the Green Goblin, you call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, continually got beat. And then we went through the cornerback carousel that was Rasul Douglas, Ronald Darby, Avonte Maddox. I mean, it was just one after another after another. And every time an offense got out there, I was scared for my life because I was like, these wide receivers are going to just do an out route and just just bury our corners and safeties, with the exception of Malcolm. So, you know what? I hope Darius Slay can bring the leadership in, and I hope the other pieces that Jim Schwartz has added in will help elevate us. But right now, bro, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you right now, until I see it on the field, my defense, they ain't got the stuff. They ain't got the heart right now.
I call Jalen Mills Swisher Sweet.
That's being nice.
Speaking of being nice, you're one of the rare teams that doesn't have an issue at tight end.
Right.
Because Zach Ertz he's definitely top 5. There's no question he's top 5.
My opinion, he's top 3, but go ahead.
All right, top three, number 3, but top 3. Bro, when's Dallas going to get his shine? Dallas Carter is cold, bro, and he's never going to get that limelight as long as Zach Ertz is still the man.
Here's the thing about that, though. You have to entrust that Doug Peterson knows how to utilize a 2 tight end set. And as we've seen, most teams in the NFL have kind of gone to this. You have one guy who's going to be your blocker. You have another guy who's going to be your catcher in the middle of the field, a guy who ain't afraid to go in the middle. That is where we have the best of both worlds, because both Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert aren't afraid to block a defensive man or afraid to go through that middle, catch the ball, take that hit, and still stand. So in regards to Dallas Goedert, I really feel like he's going to get his recognition. He's already got it, but he's going to get it more because I truly expect that. Again, I go back to the substance. You already know, should anything happen to Zach, which, hey, please don't, Lord, no, don't do it to me. But if it does happen, we got Dallas, who is a viable backup. And if you look at his red zone, Carson will target him more in the red zone than he will Zach.
All right. You got that on lock. Bro, your offensive line. Now, you guys have a roller coaster when it comes to the offensive line. Sometimes you cats are just beating people down. And other times, y'all just letting people in. No more Jason Peters. No more Halavuli Vati Vaitai. Jason Kelsey is the man, and I got to meet him at the Pro Bowl. But, one center can't do it alone. How you feeling about that offensive line?
Are you forgetting about Lane Johnson? You're forgetting about Lane Johnson, the guy on
when
the right
he's
side.
There, Lane Johnson has a problem not being there.
Hold on. Lane Johnson is going to be just fine. So before you start insinuating that our offensive line, because we did lose an all-pro in Jason Peters, make no mistake about it. No matter how many times he cost me 5 yards for a damn false start, that brother was there for 11 years and did his job continuously. You never had to worry. Carson's left side was like Fort Knox. And when you put Lane Johnson on the right side, those two guys did what they had to do. Basically, you ain't getting through here. This is it. You got to come through here or here. Jason in the middle has the repetition and the chemistry with Carson. I look for Andre Dillard to step up on the left side. However, we both know edge rushers and defensive linemen are going to be gunning for him because it ain't Jason Peters anymore. But I do expect Andre Dillard to step up because he's starting to get more versed in the role. Listen, this whole pandemic is causing OTAs to suffer. It's causing guys to go through virtual playbooks and get themselves together and watch film. However, there are still guys, like I saw today on IG, Lane Johnson had two guys with him working out at his home, and these guys were just looking like they were dialed in, they were focused, and more importantly, they were keeping their bodies ready. So what I will say to you, very simply, look for everybody to kind of target Dillard if he's going to be the guy on the left side. But make no mistake about it, the more continuity, the more rhythm, the more momentum, trust me, he'll be fine. I ain't worried about him.
Not talking about the secondary.
Sure.
Let me say it again. Not talking about the secondary.
I got you.
What part of your team needs to get better?
Our wide receivers. Our wide receivers have been the reason, Alex, that me and a bottle of Crown have been friends throughout the entire football season through weeks 1 through 4 because they can't stay healthy. Now, listen, Deshaun Jackson is back in Philadelphia. He was back for maybe 2 games last season. Father Time is undefeated. But if he can get right and get healthy, he can still take the top off the lid on defenses. Alshon needs to figure it out up here. Just because you got a ring don't mean you just going to be the man. There are younger cats coming every single year, and they vying for that number 1 spot. They vying for right now that number 2 spot because to me, D-Jax is still number 1. However, Alshon, when healthy, when dialed in, when focused, I'll match him up some of these other stud receivers. I won't go so far as put him up there and say, yo, he's a top-tier wide receiver, but he is serviceable. Okay, we saw what Greg Ward Jr. had to do and step up and make his presence known. That brother's hungry. He's coming. The biggest and probably the best present that the Eagles gave me was they shipped Nelson Aguilar's ass the hell up on out of here. because I didn't like him unless he was in the slot. Now he's gone. He is off. The monkey is off my back. I ain't got to worry about him. Arcega Whiteside, I like what he's able to do. I like Jalen Reagor. I know a lot of people who may not know Jalen Reagor need to go watch his tape from TCU because he, to me, is a serviceable, or I shall say a Darren Sproles-esque individual. Meaning, even though he's a wide receiver, he can catch it in the backfield. You can use him on special teams. And this brother he's got a chip on his shoulder because people were expecting the Eagles to pick up a Justin Jefferson or someone of that caliber. But what the Eagles said was, we need to find individuals who are going to fit our scheme. And that's where I feel like our wide receivers will get better. But right now, I have to see it on the field. I have to see the production from all of them, from D-Jack all the way down.
Now, I got friends in Dallas, and you know my brother is a die-hard Dallas Cowboy fan. You two can never meet. It can never happen.
He can't come to never meet. He can't come to no barbecues. No, he can't. No.
With that being said,
okay,
he was trolling and saying, you know, CeeDee Lamb in the Philadelphia Eagles uniform, it was all a dream and all that. He was raw with it. It was all a dream. What would be your reply to a 70-year-old billionaire if you had
one? You know what? Jerry Jones, congratulations on staying in the media. Congratulations on building your team to potentially what they were back in the 90s. But guess what you ain't done, Jerry? You still ain't paid your franchise quarterback. I don't care how much money Dak wants. But you know what? You're going to take care of everybody else, but you don't take care of him. And then you want to talk about throwing salt in the mix? Hey, happy Cinco de Mayo, put some salt around that rim. Now you going to throw in Andy Dalton? Bruh, if I was Dak, I'd be on the first thing smoking. I really would. $2 million last year, and granted, right now, you're still in negotiations to get a deal done. Man, I can't. So to Jerry, what I'm saying to you is, I hope you are prepared for what's fitting to happen to you this year. Because if it ain't us, you damn sure know the Giants are coming for you, and you know Chase Young and the Redskins and Ron Rivera are coming for you. But don't worry. Twice a year when we see you and Link and we have to go to Jerry World, the $1 billion play plan, and see you, guess what? Ass whooping fitting to come.
Since you mentioned the Link, why is your stadium one of the very, very few to hold a jail cell? Explain where this concept came from. From someone who's not a Philadelphia fan and just I know how ruckus you Eagle fans can be. How the hell did that happen?
Hey, man, it's one of those things where you have to go all the way back to the vet to really get an understanding. And as someone who's been in both of those stadiums, I get it. We love our team. You have to understand, we are one of the few cities that have all 4 major sports in one city. Philadelphia has the Flyers, the Phillies, the Sixers, and of course, as I always love to say, and I used to say 2 years ago, the reigning defending undisputed Super Bowl 52 world champion Philadelphia Eagles. That all being said, we love each other, but we damn sure gonna fight if you try and mess with us. We it's just who we are, man. It's ingrained in us. And so the only way that you are able to contain us from not beating the hell out of each other is to separate us and put us in, I don't want to say cages, but put us, put us away from each other. But I mean, that's what it is, man. It's one of those things where it's the love of the game, but it's the intensity. And you have to understand, from August to February, everybody in that area is wearing Philly. And if you come to our house, oh, you getting punched in the mouth. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We ain't going to be nice to you. We're not going to be polite. When you walk into the link and you're wearing an opposing person's jersey, sit down, watch the game, enjoy yourself. If you are fortunate enough to get a victory over us, leave before the fourth quarter. That's all I'm going to say to you. Don't try and stick around because it ain't gonna work. Now, if you lose, which is more than more times than not, it's gonna happen. Hey, have a nice flight back. Have a nice drive home. Goodbye. Get out. Don't stick around and start doing all this. Because once we get out that stadium, oh, forget about it. You better make sure you catch us outside the stadium. Because if you catch us in the stadium, it's over. It's done. It's a wrap.
All right, last one.
Sure.
It's 2020.
Yep.
And it's the last year of normal. Well, if you consider this normal. But it's the last year of the 16-game schedule. You've seen the schedule. You know the opponents. Arizona's coming. Nobody is sleeping on San Francisco. Dallas didn't go nowhere. You still got problems with Green Bay. And there's this certain soap opera happening in the NFC South. Of all the main competitors, how does Philly stack up to the rest of the NFC?
If you take away our division, because I will always say we're going to win our division. So if you take away those 3 teams, that leaves you with 12 others. In the NFC North, the only team that I fear right now is Green Bay for one simple reason. They've got Aaron Rodgers. That's it. When you go out to the NFC West, I'm not sleeping on Arizona. I've never slept on Seattle because we got payback. Seattle got payback coming from us. And San Francisco, hey, they were just in the Super Bowl. I can't argue that. And the Rams, listen, we want to pay back the Rams for what they did to Carson, because Carson would still be on an MVP ride if he wouldn't originally got injured in LA with the Rams. So the NFC West, they on notice. We coming for all 4 of them. Now, when you talk about the NFC South, I love me some Teddy Bridgewater, man. I really do. I hope he's able to kind of reinvent this Carolina Panthers team alongside Christian McCaffrey. New Orleans took Malcolm Jenkins from me, so that's going to hurt my heart. But I can't ignore what Drew Brees and Sean Payton have done over the last decade. The Atlanta Falcons, they get lucky. That's all. Atlanta, they up 1 minute for about 3-4 games, and then they done. So I ain't worried about them. The wild card and all this. The wild card, Tampa Bay. Because as I've always said to you, when we flip the script on this, and it's been the Sports Arenas production, everything is falling into place for Tampa. So if there was one team that I can say I'm genuinely concerned about this year, it is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All the other teams in the NFL, especially on the NFC side of things, if you come to Philly, be prepared to have your heart thrown out your chest. If we have to go to you, you might squeak out a victory, but this team, we understand what lay before us. And if we can get in with a 9-7 record to the playoffs and we are injury ridden, can you imagine if we are healthy? Understand what I'm saying to you right now. If we are at 100%, ain't no team in the NFL, with the exception of one in the NFC, that can beat us. As far as the AFC goes, man, there's a lot of talent out there. You've got your Kansas Cities, you've got your Baltimores. You know what? I'll even throw in Tennessee. It's just one of those things where when we play the AFC teams, we have to elevate ourselves to that next level. But the NFC, I maybe fear 2 teams. I maybe fear Green Bay and Tampa. That's it.
All right. This was a flavorful production with my man in his Fly Eagles Fly gear, Eric Wilson. You can catch him on Fox Sports 1070 Saturdays, where he does his own show because he can stand alone. Let the people know how to reach you, please.
As always, your man Eric Wilson, Sports Arena, Fox Sports Radio, 1070 The Zone, WKII, every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. I've had phenomenal guests on. You know, we keep it consistent. We keep it rocking. We keep it rolling. You can find me on all my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Yeah, all the business moguls out there, come holler at your boy. And, of course, YouTube. Mr. Fleming, thank you so much for the Fantasy and Flavors production. I appreciate this, brother. Hey, fly, Eagles, fly. Get ready. We coming for 20. Hey, 20 right here, 2020. Shout out to my man B-Dog, blessed by the best. It's finna happen.
Hope people see better in 2020. It's gonna happen.
It is.
Fantasy and Flavors. We out.